Hello, everybody. Recording live from somewhere.
It's The Session with Mel G.
And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the
Classic. I think that we should start with the session. But before we begin, let me ask you a few questions. Have you...
Welcome to TheSessionTV. I'm your host, Mel G, and today I'd like to welcome a very special guest to my show. His name is Mark Edmond, if you didn't know.
Mark Edmond, if you didn't know.
What's up, Mark? How are you doing today?
I'm good. I can't complain.
Yeah,
I'm happy
sure.
to be here. First off, thank you for having me.
Appreciate you being here. You know what I mean? So I basically came across your page. I'm not sure if you're familiar. That we have a mutual friend of ours. His name is Creative God.
Oh yeah, my guy.
So
yeah.
he posted you actually performing one of these times that you perform so much. You know, so one of these performances, I believe you were at Max Volume.
No, for sure. Shout out to the Max.
He posted you up on his story, and I was like, yo, he sounds pretty dope. You know, went to your page. I was pretty impressed with your stage presence, everything. So
Thank you.
Creative was actually my first interview, so it's just kind of nice that he's helping me connect with other people. So shout out to Creative, you the man. And now we're here. So welcome to my show. Thank you for being here once again. So I want to talk to you a little bit about yourself. So you're originally from Massachusetts, right?
Yeah. Stoughton to be exact.
Wow. So
you probably don't even know what that
No,
said.
I don't. But what's up? You got a rep.
I was really just born there for real. I don't really know too much about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I came down here when I was like two, 3
Oh,
years
you're
old,
a little
something
baby.
Like yeah.
Any reason why Miami? Because I feel like Boston and Miami is such a big change.
I'm like, sure, I ain't never had that conversation for real. I just, all I know is here for the most part. I've been back since, but
okay.
Yeah, this is pretty much home for real.
Cool, that's what's up. And you're from Broward, right?
Yeah.
That's what you rep, Broward?
Sunrise.
For sure. So your birthday is on April 14th, right?
14. Oh, you've been doing your homework.
So, you put out a song earlier this year on your birthday, April 14th, which was actually mixed by Creative, right?
Yeah. Creative. Yeah.
How did you guys meet? Like, do you go to his studio often, or how's that relationship?
Man, Creative knew me since I was like a kid, since I
really?
was probably like 15, 16.
Wow.
I used to record my guy, Chevy Boy.
Okay.
And Chevy Boy, Woody. So
Woody Lauderdale?
Yeah.
I know Woody too.
Yeah.
That's dope.
That's like my first engineer.
Oh my goodness.
He used to engineer when I was a kid.
Love those boys. They're really dope.
Nah, for sure. So one day Creative back then used to go by Dirty. You know, he came through the spot.
I remember.
And I was there. I was like the youngest one, and he just seen potential in me. And then it's crazy how we ain't been in contact, but as time went by, organically, reconnected. Yeah. So he been knowing me.
So you locked in.
Yeah. He seen something to me before. I used to go by Cash Flow. So
yes. Oh my God.
So he know me since I was Cash Flow.
That's really
just
awesome.
Trying to figure it out.
Let's talk a little bit more about the song though. I love in the first verse, especially like towards the ending. Well, let's start by you open the first verse by shouting out your angel Dwight. May he rest in peace.
Yeah. That's my big cousin. Yeah.
From what I've learned about you, losing your cousin, and that was a major thing in your life.
Nah, 1,000%.
My question is, what has loss taught you in your life? Because I believe your grandma passed away as well. May she rest in peace. So what do you feel that losing these important figures in your life has taught you?
That's a good question. Honestly, just put things in perspective for real. Like for me. There ain't no answer to it. It ain't like no manual. No matter how many times you experience it, it's still gonna hit the same for real. But it just really just kind of put things in perspective. Like you just really got to make the best of like life for real.
True.
And tomorrow ain't promised. All those cliches, they true though.
Yeah.
But like treat people like treat people
with
like
love,
treat people
respect.
like don't take people for granted for the most part. That's what I'm really trying to say. So. And it really just, just motivation to really you gotta make the best of it. So but definitely. As far as how I deal with it and stuff like that, just really no answer. You just gotta go through it for real.
Go through the motions.
Because it can hit you randomly. Because my cousin, he passed away 15 years ago, but it'll be random times where I'll just think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Or the holidays. Or,
and I was younger. I was a kid when that happened, so. I ain't really process
traumatic.
it. I didn't really know how to really process it when it was happening. So, now I'm kind of really thinking about it more often.
Yeah, now that you're older.
It's crazy how somebody's here one day and they're just
gone the next.
Yeah. But you just gotta use that as motivation for real. in the back of my mind, I'm like, hey, I'm doing it for
I'm going hard for them.
Yeah. I feel like, we're gonna keep them alive the more you mention them. So.
Amen.
Yeah, for sure.
And the rest of the verse, you talk a little bit, it was so relatable for me because like from when you say for the past few years been dreading my birthday to the last line, gotta take care of my family, all that stuff was so relatable.
Sure.
You talk about having working a little supposed to be a stepping stone. Now it feels like I settled. I like that because sometimes I feel that, you know what I mean? But you gotta keep pushing, only way that I'm gonna get there. I really appreciated those bars because I was like, yo, I feel like that more often than not, you know what I mean? Like, am I doing the right thing? Is this working out? Like, so I appreciated that part of the song.
I feel like it's like a natural thoughts, and like you when you chase your goals or whatever, like you gonna have the moments where it's like, damn, like I'm not there yet. It's like you having those
second thoughts,
those doubts in a sense, but you just can't dwell on it. I actually have like a song like coming out, like really like addressing what we talk about.
Okay.
On my new project coming
For sure.
out. But yeah.
How exciting! You actually, it's funny because on So Much Pain, from your album, if you didn't know, you in the verse you say, been going through a rough stretch, trying to make it as a rapper seems far-fetched. If I don't make it soon, what's gonna happen next? You're putting all your eggs in the basket. So like all those things, dude, I felt all of that on such a high level. And my favorite part of that verse is actually when you say, I'm too cheap to throw a pretty party.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
I ain't
that's
gonna lie,
dope.
when I wrote that, I was like, damn, that was pretty hard. Like, man, and the fact, that's why you pay attention. You know, that's why it's important. Whoever listens to my music to actually like understand what I'm saying, because like, every line
it's
is
like real life shit. That's what I got. That's what I picked up from hearing your music. It's just like whatever you're going through, you express it and in a way that like other people can relate and like no, they're not alone, like, yo, there's other people that relate to me and that are going through it too. So I thought that was all dope. How was it having your mom on the track April 14th, recognizing that your music is getting bigger but the enemy is busy, stay focused? Like, I thought that was the cutest, best message you can get from your mom. Like,
oh my God, the way that happened though, like the way that happened was so organic. She didn't even know she was like gonna be on the song. So
dope. You got her like on the low, like recording
this
her
how it happened. Like, so the same day I recorded the song, like she was calling me during the session.
Oh, okay. Got you.
And then I ain't pick up. And then when I got home, I'm listening to the song over and over. It was a part in that part. Creator was telling me like, yo, try to say this, that, there. But I was like, damn, I don't really like the way I'm sounding and, kind of feel forced. So it was like a void there.
Yeah.
So I got to the house and I'm listening to the song, and then something made me just want to listen to my voicemail.
Yeah, and it was your mom.
And then my mom, she just started talking.
That's so ill, man.
Yeah, she just started she left me like a 2-minute voicemail just talking. And then I'm listening to it like, man, she's saying some stuff like. So then I had this bright idea, because I won't finish with the song, because I'm like very like a perfectionist. I can't just leave the studio and be like, that's it. I gotta go back and make sure it sounds.
Yeah, all those little details. And
so I went back the next day. I'm like, yo, I got it. You know? And then I ended up I took the voicemail and I sent it to my email, so I have it the MP3.
Yeah.
And then went to the studio. We cut it up.
How was it for her hearing herself on the track?
She ain't expected, So it, like she one of them people, like she really like be paying attention to whatever I got going on. So she listened to it and
she
on her own.
Hey, that's my son.
Yeah. I know it caught her by surprise, because it happened so organic. And the thing she was saying was like, man,
it was perfect. I was like, I feel like I needed to hear that.
It resonated so good.
Very motherly advice and stay focused.
And on a song called April 14th, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just kind of put everything together.
Full circle. It's like your mom gave life to you. All this stuff. It was really beautiful. I loved hearing it on there.
Yeah. I was happy I was able to do that.
And even on your other track, Winston's Journal, you mentioned you're the youngest of your mom's kids. So how many siblings do you have?
I got 2 big brothers. Yeah. That's my brother on If You Didn't Know on the intro.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Coach Mark. Coach Mark. Yeah,
that's one of my questions.
That's big, bro. Yeah.
Like, who is Coach Mark?
Yeah.
That is amazing. Sure. I love that family aspect you have going on.
Yeah,
that's dope to include your family and stuff.
Organic again. It's like, because this is the first track. Like he a coach. He be talking that talk.
Oh, so he's a real coach in real life.
Yeah, for sure. So he be talking that talk. So I'm like, man, it'll be perfect. And he one of the people too. Like, he used to take me to the studio, like
supporting you.
Yeah, like he used to sit through my sessions and just
that's real love.
Like for sure. Like, he used to take me, like, just sit in the session for hours. Like, dang, bro, like, just seeing it early on for sure.
It's nice, yeah. All these years later, having him on a track too. So it's like all these full
yeah,
circle moments.
These
I
are
love
like
it.
timeless memories. Like they
man.
always gonna be like relevant, you know.
Hell yeah.
Like so years from now, we could look back at it like, man, we did it. Like this is dope.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Why did you stop making music for so long? You had like a 7-year gap. Well, from what I understand, you did record a project, but you like hesitated so much that you held it back and you never put it out. So why did you take that long time and that break? And what made you not put out the project?
I feel like circumstances for real. Like, you know, I was pretty young. I ain't really have like a lot of the resources, the knowledge.
True.
I ain't have a lot. I just knew I love music. I just knew that this is what I wanted to do. But I ain't really had no avenues. I ain't really had no means to do anything. Like I ain't had no car. I ain't like.
It's the real grind, right?
Yeah,
Struggle.
I ain't really like. I was fresh out of like high school, just kind of like, man, what do I do? Like, you know, it's just me right now.
Yeah.
You know, like I ain't have like I wasn't really too into the internet like that.
Yeah.
Internet another world. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like that's
Straight
you see,
up,
you come across people like you and stuff like that.
it's
But when
crazy,
it's just you in your room, like you don't really know the world exists. I just kind of made Instagram for real, like so I'm pretty new on Instagram and stuff like that.
Interesting, yeah.
Compared to other people.
Other people, yeah.
So 2013, that's pretty much like when I really like, you know, kind of like fell back a little bit. Like, you know, I ain't never really like take it serious for real, because I always was kind of the term I want to probably use is like insecure, because I'm like, damn, I ain't got this, I ain't got that.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, and you're comparing yourself to other artists.
Yeah,
and
just
people,
like
and
I can't. I don't know where to record. I don't know how to get there. You know, so it's just like, man. So I ended up recording this project. You know, we probably get into it later on, but in the interview. But yeah, I ended up recording the project, and it's like, man, like, what do I do next?
Yeah.
You know, because
stuck,
you got the music, but it like that's only the small portion of it for real. So time passed by, and you like, dang, it's just sitting there. So.
Well, what I did see on your Instagram is that you posted a bunch of like notebooks, a bunch of composition notebooks.
Yeah,
so even during that time, like you kept the faith, you kept working at it, at your craft and stuff.
Oh yeah,
even during that time.
Why I never stopped. You know what I'm saying? I never like stopped and just said, you know what, let me take 2 months off. I always was writing. I was like
active, being active.
I was writing. Like I was writing some of my best music when I was like really going through it, because I had time. Like I had a lot of time to just sit and write. So I used to
wonderful, dude. I saw that and I was like impressed, because a lot of people are on their phones and stuff, but it's so nice to get that.
Oh nah, I still
that pen and pad vibe. You know what I mean? You get your real feelings in
there. My notebooks be looking crazy too. I be scratching a lot, because you know I'm thinking I just want to say that the real stuff that's gonna stick, that's gonna last. Like this is it. Dude. Like once it go out, it's for the people, ain't for me no more. So I want to make sure that I'm saying everything I want to say for real. That's why every line count, because I'm seeing it. I'm like, you know what? I don't like the way this word look on the paper, so let me.
And you care that much, yeah.
Yeah, I be having Google on, like just this is a website I use
for different words and stuff.
Yeah, like it's a website I use called Rhyme Zone.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that. Let me see if there's. I want to find new ways to say what I'm trying to say. I don't want to just be using the same word.
It really does show that you care. I think that's
for sure. So yeah, around that time I was just writing. That's all I had to do. Like I said, I ain't really have much going on for real. Like I was just kind of like stuck. So that was my go-to.
So how did you get out of that slump? Would you say like it wasn't even a slump? It was just like you didn't know how to move forward. So how did you get out of that?
Nah, it was a slump. It was a slump. Yeah, for sure. It was a slump in life in general, not just music.
Yeah.
Like so
life affects everything else.
Yeah, like it's like outside of just me not being able to do what I gotta do musically, personally, you know, it's just crazy too. You know, like people looking at you like, oh, what you doing? Like I said, I'm kind of fresh out of high school with no plan for real, you know. And it's like at this point, my mind wasn't like developed the way it is now. I'm caring what people think to the degree it's like, yo, I can't work. In my mind, I'm thinking, hey, I'm a rapper. Even though I ain't doing nothing with it, but I'm like, I'm a rapper. I can't have nobody see me ain't working no job or see me walking to the bus stop or nothing. You know, you thinking like that's a mindset back then, you know, because I'm still growing at that point, you know, but I had to get out of that for real. Like I really had to like look myself in the mirror like, oh, I got to do something. It's on me for real. Like,
yeah, I love that.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna save me.
Holding yourself accountable.
Yeah. Me personally, I'm the type of person, I'm not trying to be no burden on people too. So whatever I'm going through, I'm just going through it on myself. But every day in my mind, I just felt like I was gonna figure something out. And I always kept that in the back of my mind. Like, yo, I'm gonna figure it out. Like, cause this ain't it, but I know I want more. You know, I know I want more, and
that's where you start. That's a good start right there.
Yeah, for sure. Just constantly planting that seed in your mind.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
So, how was the feeling of putting out music after all that time when you dropped your album? If you didn't know,
oh, that was like, man.
You dropped during the pandemic, right? That was 2020.
Yeah, that was like perfect. I feel like it was just perfect timing.
Like a relief. Like, oh my God, I did it.
Yeah, it was just like that's when I felt like, okay, I think I could do this. I think I'm on something. I'm on to something. Yeah. Like, it felt like everything was worth it for real. Looking back at it, that's everything counted. You know, shout out to my guy, Ken's that guy. Like, he was my coworker at the time, and
you guys like linked up, right?
Yeah,
to do this music
so before that, I was recording. Shout out to Debonair. I was recording at Debonair Studio. So this is how that came about. So. Like I said, I ain't really have Instagram like that. I ain't really know how to move for real. Yeah. So what I did, I was just saving. I did eventually start. I started working. I was working like 2 jobs, walking, taking
Making
a bus.
Happen,
I was just like, yo, I gotta do what I gotta do for real. You know, so eventually I just started saving. And then I just went on Google one day. I'm like, studio near me. You feel me? Like, cause I ain't know where to start.
Yeah, but
and I seen there was a studio nearby, and then I'm like, let me go hit it up. And then
for sure.
I took a lift over there, and then I was like, yo, I want to do 10 hours.
Yeah, like
knock
it out.
Yeah, so I was just in there. I was just doing like 10 hours and just investing in myself at that point. And then so I started recording. What I didn't know at the time was the first project. So I just started recording, and that's when I had the vocals and stuff like that, but the song was missing.
Yeah.
And then me and Ken's, we linked up, and he helped me put that together. We locked in, like we was in the studio like hours on hours.
I see that 10-hour bookings.
Oh
sheesh.
yeah. Nah, when I linked with Ken's, it was different. It was like every day we was in there just locked in, just trying to perfect it.
It's amazing.
And I love that project.
Yeah.
Because I felt like you could tell, like
I've been hearing it a lot. So
yeah, it's just like even now I listen to it, I'm like, damn, this is like
you're proud of yourself.
Yeah, it's helping me get through my days. Some certain things I'm saying is like, man, I remember going through certain things. So it was all worth it for real. Everything I went through, I'm actually like grateful for it.
Amen, man. That's kind of the goal, right? To go through that struggle just for those moments of like, I did it.
A lot of the songs that's on there, I was writing like during those that rough spot I was in. I was just writing, so I just was able to like perfect it for the album. But yeah, I'm proud of it. Like I feel like with that album, it's like no matter what it did, it could have did 3 streams.
Yeah.
Like,
the fact that you did it, you recorded it, you put it out,
yeah,
like that's
I'm
yours.
proud of it.
I feel
I ain't afraid to tell nobody, oh, check that out.
Yeah. And then like a year later, last year in June, you got the album to 100K plays.
Oh yeah.
So how did that feel? Like,
and like
I try 3 streams.
Listen. I try not to get caught up in that stuff because it's up and down and stuff like that. But it's definitely
even me, like my views on, I'm like, oh my God. But
yeah, you have to acknowledge. You have to acknowledge certain things too. You have to like. Just to it's important for growth too to see where you came from, where you at. You know, so you do acknowledge it. You don't get caught up in it, but it's like, whoa, 100K. Like, man, I used to drop songs and nobody used to listen to it. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to put things on SoundCloud. I probably still got some on YouTube, but like 20-something views. It is what it is though. Like everything counts. So I don't feel like nothing is a failure in my eyes. Like, I like that. But 100K is like, oh shoot.
You're like, damn, I did it.
I don't even know. I don't know that much people.
Yeah.
So that means there's people out there listening to it. So it's definitely a sense of reassurance, I'm gonna say. Something like that. Because I like I said, once I put the project out, I felt like it was supposed to go diamond. You know what I'm saying? I felt like, everybody's supposed to be listening to this is it, But I definitely I appreciate it for real. Like it's just
dope.
like
I was happy for you when I saw it, so I can imagine how you felt.
Definitely.
You have a track on there called "The Float" featuring Paragon P and Main One. Apparently, those are some of your day ones. So how how's that feeling again? You know, having those full circle moments with these people that you've grown up with, whether it's your mom, your brother, moments, your friends.
They just kind of happen organically. You know, it don't be feeling like work for real. But yeah, these are people I knew since middle school. Paragon, knew them since 2nd grade.
I love it.
Yeah. So. Those are just easy.
Yeah.
Those are
It's like fun.
those
It's
you
like
don't
fun.
even think about those for real. And a float, yeah, that's one of them ones too. A
It
float.
gets stuck in my head, you know.
Oh yeah, a float is that's gonna. I'm telling that's gonna be like that classic joint.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
when I perform like 5 years from now, I'm gonna bring out a float and it's still gonna go crazy tight. Yeah.
Super relatable, and you actually
sure.
rap these bars in the song. Can't help but reminisce. Sometimes I miss being 5 and 6, right before my parents split, and I became at risk up against all odds. So do you think? At that time when you were little, right? But
yeah.
Was that like a major turning point, having your parents split up?
Oh yeah. Cause I remember it. I
You're
remember
rapping about it.
Yeah,
so it's like
I remember.
It affected you, you know?
Yeah, I remember like the moments was like arguments with it, like hostile environment. I remember that. You know, they might not think I remember it, but of course that.
Yeah, kids absorb everything.
I feel like it affects you more later on. Like in the moment, you kind of just going through it. Like it is.
Yeah, and you're too young to like understand. And now at older age, you look back and you're like, wow.
Yeah, that's kind of
really
like that's all you see. So you kind of feel like that's just how it's supposed to be. But you know, you look back, it's like, man, like when I was like a kid though, I didn't. Those weren't problems to me. Like those weren't.
That was just your reality kind of thing.
Yeah, so like sometimes I miss being 5 and 6. Like I was just like innocent and life was just everything was good.
Straight up, man.
Yeah, I ain't experienced
Being
no
an adult
loss.
sucks.
Well, I was just like whatever y'all had going on, anybody had going on, ain't really affect me for real. Cause I was, you know what they say, ignorance is bliss. So.
True.
At that point, I'm ignorant to everything. I'm a kid,
definitely.
and so I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, of course, you know, I do think about that. Like, damn, like, life is crazy. And I be looking at like, I got a nephew and niece. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's dope.
I got even younger people in my family. I'm like, man, you so innocent.
Yeah,
man.
dude.
I'm like, man, I'd be wishing like,
Yeah,
man.
I could go back to those times.
Yeah, and it's like I wish that I could like shelter them for real, cause I know how this thing get, you know. But nah, for sure, yeah. Well, you know it is what it is. Take the good, the bad.
On this too, in the first verse, you talk so much about your cousin Dwight and everything that happened. Was it therapeutic for you to write something like that?
Oh yeah. Nah, definitely, like, cause that's it's another thing that you just remember. I remember it so vividly, like Super Bowl.
And even though it happened so long ago, it's still
it's like.
Can you tell me a little bit? Because in other songs, you mentioned the Super Bowl weekend and sort of what happened to him. Like, what is it that happened to him exactly?
Actually, he was in a car accident.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Like right by the house too. So he almost made it home for real. So
goodness.
Yeah, I just remember like it was the Colts versus the Bears Super Bowl in Miami. I remember. So he went out for the Super Bowl festivities. So I remember the last time we talked, the night. You know, basically it happened in the morning. So that night before we talking, you know, we basically like making plans for the suit. We talking because I'm a Peyton Manning guy, so I'm like telling them, yo, Peyton Manning about to finally get it, you know. And then we having that conversation like basically tomorrow we'll watch the game or whatnot. So right before he left, you know, and I just remember so vividly like the day, like I remember like the day him waking up and our conversation. So. That night, you know, we talked, and then he went his way, you know, and that morning, you know, we ain't hear nothing from him. So I'm waking up the morning, not really even knowing what happened for real. I remember going to the barbershop that morning, and then that morning, police knocking on the door. I'm like,
good.
I'm kid at this point. I'm a kid, so
probably.
So I'm like, yo, do I open the door? Like,
you
know, but in the back of my mind too, I'm also thinking, man, maybe he got arrested or something. I don't know, you know. But we opened the door and they basically kind of just broke it down, and you know, like he was living upstairs at the time, so we banging on the door. I'm thinking he upstairs.
There.
Yeah. So we banging on the door.
Oh, it's hard to accept, right?
Yeah. So it just happened so quick. It's just like here today, gone tomorrow for real, and then you know that changed like my perspective on life. Like, you know.
So I'm guessing writing that track, it was like you letting it all out, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Things that you haven't talked about in probably a while.
Nah, 100%.
That's
definitely.
Good. Music is like that. It's therapeutic. You release things, you know.
Yeah.
It's like the beat, everything is so spiritual to me.
And when
you
listen to it, it's just like you kind of, it's a sense of comfort in the sense, like it's just like kind of glad that you said that, like it's gonna always be there forever.
On a more positive note, the song came from featuring Dina Adine. I hope I said that right.
It's Dina Adine.
Dina Adine. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. Shout out to her. She's from Miami.
I love that song, dude.
Yeah.
I was hearing it on the way over here actually because it just gives me like a good vibe. You know, like the beat and everything is very Miami. I loved her vocals too.
For sure.
It's another fast-paced track, but I love still that you're talking about real life shit you've been through. Like no matter what, you're always talking about what is going on in your life. I appreciate that, and I love the closing bridge that she did as well. Amazing singing.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, on the album you have some an interlude called Shay's Interlude. So who is Shay?
Shay, she like a little sister to me. Yeah. She was one of the people who like supporting me early on
super
too.
Positive message that she gave.
And that happened organic too. Like that was a voicemail. Like she left me a audio message. Like it was like a Christmas or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like New Year's, or she was like, yo, I hope you good. Yeah, I love it. It was just
so perfect.
It's a blessing to see you and all that stuff. Yeah.
So of course she said more. We had to cut it up a little bit and make it sound how it sounded, and it was just so perfect because she said something about like I think she said New Year's or something like that. And, I got the song New Year's Eve.
Yep.
So that's why it was important that we put that before New Year's Eve, and it was just it was just perfect, like perfect timing for real. Like, man,
it worked.
Yeah, for sure.
I love how all the pieces of the puzzle came together for the album, because like your mom, this one, like everything just fit.
It's really just putting the thinking cap on, and just thinking how we could kind of like make this an experience.
On Message to the Youth 4, my first question I think is there other parts? Because I don't know if they're out there.
Yeah.
Like on YouTube maybe?
There's actually that's part 4. So it's actually 3 more. So Message to the Youth is like basically a series that in high school, one of my administrators, he kind of challenged me to make a song like that, like, and then I ended up making a song called Message to the Youth, I called it, and then I ended up performing it at a pep rally, at a FCAT pep rally, I think it was.
Dope.
In the gym, it was dope. It was like
all your people there. That's a vibe.
It was
amazing.
A really good experience. So I ended up doing that, and then on that project, the one that didn't come out, I had Message to the Youth 2 and 3.
Aha, no wonder.
Yeah, so I never released those. They got some strong messages. Yeah. But they exist.
And I like that the administrator too kind of like put you up to a challenge, and then like you made like a series out of it. A lot of rappers do that they have part 1, 2, 3, 2, like multiple songs.
I feel like there's always gonna be a message to the youth. Like it's always.
And the messages on the song were amazing. Like every message you gave, I felt like it was just nice to hear some positive guidance.
Nah, for sure.
To younger people, like that you don't get that often in rap anymore.
Yeah, and I ain't want to like pretty much force it too, like sound too preachy. I really wanted to give it to that perspective, like, yo, I've been there, I know.
That's what you gave on that song, like, yo, like, I'm not trying to put you down, like, I've been there, just keep your head up, like, that's the vibe I got.
Just kind of just give perspective, and who knows who that might help, but I feel like that's another one of those timeless messages, and shout out to Milan, who was singing on there.
Her voice and flow was great. That was my next thing that I was going to touch on, like, she did great, man.
She dope.
And that was the song that you guys recorded in the back of the car, right? Yeah. I saw that story. Actually, I was like,
that
wow,
was like one of those. So me,
dedication.
So me and Ken's like we putting the project together, and this is the last song, and that we like need to like finish for real, like as far as vocally. So Milan, she was still in school at the time, so it was kind of hard to really like lock in for real, but she made it happen. Like we pulled up to the house. We set up the mic in the back seat.
Yo, that's so dope to me.
Had the laptop, and then she made it happen.
Yeah. All of you guys made it happen.
Crunch time. Like,
whatever it takes kind of mentality.
For sure.
And what was like notable to me with this track is basically the song is actually 3 verses.
Yeah. That's not too common now.
I don't hear that anymore. Man. So
for
those 3 verses. So between that and the beat that was kind of like sort of rockish. It's produced by Tony Tone. But between the 3 verses and like the beat, it gave me like Joe Budden / Tupac vibes with the topics. Like Joe Budden because he raps for a long time, and then the rock and roll, like the guitar that you had going on, that was super Joe to me. And then the topics that you spoke on was Tupac vibes, which I know Tupac's a huge inspiration for you.
Big time. Yeah, Tupac was helping me get through for real. Like, Tupac ain't really my era, but I did my homework, and then like he was really instrumental, like into the artist I am today.
And he loved talking to the youth and all that stuff. So that's why I got that vibe too. Like I was like, yo, this is so amazing because he's your inspiration, like somebody that you look up to.
For sure.
He gave that vibe off for sure.
Nah, definitely.
In March, you actually released an EP, 4 tracks called the Edmond EP.
Edmond EP out now. Yeah.
Kicking it off with Adjustments, which I was also hearing on the way over here because that one just like upbeat, gets you ready to go, man. I love that track.
Sure.
It actually has 3 different beats on the song, which I thought was interesting because it reminded me of what Hit Boy and Nas did on Rare. I'm a big Nas fan. He's my number one.
Yeah, already did.
That track Rare for me is like up there, yo. That song is incredible. And I noticed that on the actual EP, you work with Trap. He produced all the tracks.
Yeah.
So do you guys like often collaborate?
This happened because this just happened like kind of organic too. Like it was like he's from. I never met him. Okay. He's from Baltimore, Maryland, I believe. Sure. So yeah, like it was just one day he kind of just hopped in my DM like, yo, I got
you
beats.
guys super locked in though.
Yeah.
You liked it.
So I seen his name was Trap, so I'm thinking he just got trap beats and stuff like that. So you know you can't you gotta see for yourself. You can't assume.
True.
So yeah, I checked his beats out and then I found some vibes and he kind of inspired me too to just put something together. Like so that was not really planned, you know, because I still was kind of like figuring out the next move after the If You Didn't Know album.
Okay.
So yeah, and then it just came.
And the 3 beats, was that his idea or was that your idea?
Nah, it's him.
Oh man, that was dope.
It's all him. Yeah,
amazing
and I just kind of just complimented it. And I locked in with my boy, Keith, and then we put together a great project in my eyes. You know,
I like the EP. It's strong.
It's
for 4 tracks. It's
4
strong,
songs,
yo.
and I had to make sure that every song was just hitting on. It was the different vibe for each song, you know, like
it was. That's true. And then Adjustments, you say something. Things changed, nearly broke my heart, and I love that because it reminded me of Freddie Gibbs.
Yeah.
That he recently on the new album on Rabbit Vision, he says a lot of shit. It broke my heart, but it fixed my vision. It reminded me of that.
But mine came out first. Nah, I'm just playing shot to Freddie Gibbs.
Yo, and obviously the song's called Adjustments, but I like that you say I'd be a fool if I didn't make adjustments because I feel like life is all about that pivot and that going with the flow and, you know, making adjustments as you go. So I like the concept of it.
Nah, for sure.
In verse 2, you mentioned some mental health. Like you mentioned people who, when they don't make it by 25, they contemplate suicide and things like that. But I love that you're like encouraging. You're like, listen, you got to fight to the end.
Of course.
I think mental health is super important. So salute to you for mentioning it. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like that's like you said, it's very important that, you know, people like take time to really like address.
Take care of themselves.
Yeah, because, you know, we get caught up in this thing and, you know, in this era that we in, we looking at this person, we comparing ourselves. So I made sure I touched on all of that. Like,
love it.
It's like I said earlier in the interviews, it's a natural thought, you know, like, damn, like, you know, you got all these time frames when you're younger, when you, at 30, I'm going to do this, at 20,
yeah,
at
for
35,
sure, I thought I would have been, like, out there already.
At 40, I'm going to be retired, and I'm going to be doing this, down to 30, you know, you got all these timelines for yourself, and then when they don't happen, you feel like, damn, it's the end of the world, oh, damn, I didn't get there, oh. Man, what do I do? Oh, life is over.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know, so it's like, man, I'm not going to get caught up in that. And I don't want people to get caught up in those timelines, too, because, you know, as long as you making forth the effort, you know, ain't no telling, for real.
You got this.
Like, why it can't be you?
Yeah.
You know, it ain't happened before, but.
Could happen tomorrow,
it could be you. Like,
in a year.
Yeah, you just got to actually push through and allow yourself to be present to allow those results to happen.
I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
That. And I also love that you said life's a marathon, stay the course. You already know.
Oh yeah,
Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Love that guy, man.
Nah, for sure.
And we actually connected, you know, in the beginning when we first started following each other over Nipsey. Like, how did you feel, you know, with his passing? How did he influence you? I feel like.
Oh yeah, I was on him early. Yeah, I was on him early, like the marathon 2010. Yeah. I used to listen. Like, I remember 2010 was a time where I was kind of like. I was down a little bit. Like I was doing the music, of course, but yeah, it's just like what he was saying was just like, wow, the marathon. He was just kind of
incredible.
He got a song Bigger Than Life. He just telling you like, yo, make that shit happen. Like it's like, whoa, like he really touching
that
me.
That motivation music. That's how I feel. Like he always spoke that thing that just hit you in the soul. Like, why am I not grinding harder?
Nah, for sure. Just the way he was moving outside of the music, I felt like he was
such a businessman. He was mad legit.
Yeah, like man. I might not know him personally, but just the way he was presenting himself was like I like the way that looks, you know, like definitely. We need more of that representation. So once we lost that, it felt like, damn, like, man.
I was so sad.
I remember that. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, you know, instance, just so sudden like that, you know. Like, so once that happened, it was like, man, we took an L. We took a big L with that one. Just not even just music, just the way the representation of what this thing supposed to look like to me.
Yeah, man.
Nah, for sure.
And the last beat switch was wonderful. Again, I'm still talking about the beat switches because to me, I thought it was really dope, and you just tackled it really good as well. And the storytelling you did at the end, like it was like a couple bars. You like squeezed it right in at the end, but you said everything. You were like, I had no money, no job, no car. I was having a hard time getting my foot in the door.
Getting a foot in the door. Yeah.
Mentioning your ex leaving you for good. Like you were just talking about again, it's just speaking about your life, and I love it. And just I've been there. Like that's what you're telling your listeners.
Yeah,
you know
for sure. Like in those are situations where like, yo, those happen, but I'm still here. You know, like I didn't let those circumstances like allow me to just call it quits. So, you know, still going through stuff, but yo, I've been through that too. Like, so, you know, those are a lot of things that, you know, I feel like a lot of us deal with. Like, just like,
absolutely.
You know, we just be feeling like.
And sometimes people don't talk about it. So, hearing an artist rap about it is like, okay, I'm not by myself, you know.
For sure.
Okay.
I'm okay. Appear sometimes, like, just appear. Like, I want to be that person that people, like, I'm not going to wait till I'm way out of here to talk about things. Like, while I'm still experiencing it, I want you to know how real it is. Like, yo, I'm actually going through it too. I just went through that not too long ago. Yeah. I was in a situation. I ain't have a car. I ain't had no job. I know how I feel to just like, you know, you want to do something. You just in your head. You don't really know which way to go. So I know that feeling all too well. Like,
I love it.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
And the next track, I liked it because it's You Got Potential. Because it was nice to hear you talk about the ladies and love. You know, you don't tap into that vibe so much. So it was such a good song. I liked it. It had a melodic beat, and you rapped all the way through. Like, even if it was melodic and more on the, you know, love side, you just rapped all the way through besides the little interlude.
Nah, I'm about that too. Yeah, like.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking how you were hearing R&B before, you know, on the way over here.
Yeah,
so.
nah, for sure. I'm big on R&B. That's why I be trying to like tap in with singers. I like that vibe on it.
I noticed that you have some type of melodic or singing on. Yeah, I love that.
I need somebody because I want to hear that. I want to feel it, you know.
And it gives a different like touch to the song too. Yeah, having the women vocals.
That's the other thing I got from Tupac. He used to have like, he used to be talking about certain things, but he got the Jewels, and he got the Val Youngs just singing that shit, and it's just like you feel it. Yeah, nah, for sure.
How We Livin' was more of an upbeat track, which I thought was super cool.
Yeah.
I love that in the beginning of verse 1 you say, "Staying to myself right now, I got an attitude, not trying to bring negativity inside the room."
Oh yeah, that's big. That's real.
Yo,
that's real.
I'm laughing because I'm like that. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm in a bad mood, I'd rather be by myself. But what I appreciate about that line is your self-awareness. You know what I mean? Like, you even know that you're like that, so you're like, I'm gonna put this in the track. I don't care. Nah. You know, be accountable for my shit.
Paint that picture, because you know, a lot of people they know me. I'm positive. I feel like I'm a light.
You are. You know why? Because I got that vibe from you. From talking, communicating, planning out this interview, you gave me positivity, and sometimes I'm not used to that either, because I work with my friend, whatever. So like we're so comfortable with each other, but to be a complete stranger, I got complete positivity from you.
For sure,
it made me. Sometimes you told me stuff, I'm like, man, you know what? He's right. You know, so I appreciated that.
And a lot of time, like I was telling you, like sometimes it might be too good to be true, because you know people be fronting, and you know people put on the mask a lot. But but I'm that person. But at the same token, I'm human too, so sometimes I had moments where, you know, I'm in my head, but I don't want to affect your day. I don't want to, you know, bring that to you. So I love that. I'd rather just be to myself. You know, I'm mad about something right now. I got a lot on my mind, so I'm not finna just come in the room and just be mad and put that on you, and now your day is going. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm affecting your day.
It's energy. It's like,
I'm. You know what they say? They say misery love company. But I don't believe in that. When I'm miserable,
I want to be alone with some music
staying to myself.
Whatever,
I don't want no. Let me get that time to myself. Let me get that right, so I could be, you know, good for you and good for myself too.
True that. I love it.
For sure.
The last track to me was the most super powerful and important one, was just Posthumous. In the music video, you were dressed super sharp, you know? Dressed to impress.
Yeah. That's another thing too. I was on a podcast, Vibe with Your Boys.
Okay.
One of the co-hosts, he kind of planted that seed a little bit. You know, I ain't go full through what he was telling me. He did kind of plant the seed, like how he seen it. So yeah, I kind of took that, and then, you know, it kind of
ran with it.
It kind of put me in that mindset. We're gonna mention him again, Tupac. I ain't mad at your video.
Oh man,
he kind of dressed
all
up.
white with the piano.
Yeah, I ain't go all the way there, but I kind of wanted to give that image, and then we walked through the cemetery and things like that. That's actually the same cemetery where my cousin was buried at too. I couldn't find his.
You were probably emotional doing that.
I couldn't find his tomb.
Yeah.
I couldn't find it though. I was kind of tight about that. Cause I did want to kind of just shed light on it, but yeah, it ended up.
Never know. You still have music coming out. There's always a chance.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it happened organic. Shout out to Brando. Shout out to Clifford Fleming's official. He changed his name. Now his name is Chosen.
Okay.
But yeah,
he's the one singing on the track, right?
Singing. Yeah. Nah, when I heard that, I was just in the car just listening to it, just getting chills, yo. For real. Yeah. Just the things we talking about, like, man.
Besides all that amazing stuff we just mentioned, what makes you write a track like that? Because, like, what were you going through at the time that made you want to write from that perspective? Because in verse 1, I feel like it's really powerful that you took the time to make a song talking as if you had already passed. So what were you going through? What made you write it? Tell me a little bit about it.
I wrote most, like, the song, like I said, it was a time where I was just writing a lot. Yeah. And these songs weren't coming out. Mm-hmm. So that's an idea I've been had that idea since probably like 2014 maybe. Like just the concept of it. Like it's
amazing.
I have like a song where I recorded like something, like pieces of that song. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I was like in a dark space for real. Like just thinking about it, not on no suicidal stuff.
But like, what would happen if I did pass? Like, how would everybody react?
Yeah, I was like in a like a dark space alone. So it was just like, man, like, and again, I listen to a lot of Tupac. Like Tupac be talking about like death and all that.
Yeah,
but
Mac Miller used to do it all the time. Like there's certain rappers that just
unfortunately, that's the inevitable. So talking about it ain't gonna like not make it happen if you don't talk about it. So but.
Or like less scary.
It just don't happen. But definitely that song, I just felt like it was like important because when you're not here no more, a lot of people try to just make things up and there's a lot of things people kind of like do when you're not here to defend yourself or speak on. So it's kind of like, let me just address some certain things because I see how it's happened. I see how it happened when this happens. When one of my favorite parts of that song, when I'm like, another death, now everybody talking change. When in a week or two they'll be back doing the same thing. A damn shame. Like,
It's the truth.
When I said that line, it just like, man, I was like amazed how that came together. I'm like, man, that's like the realest shit ever. Like,
and how you said like people picking up the phone now to call me, and last week they didn't give a shit, like kind of thing.
Stuff like that. Like it's just like, whoa, like I really said that because we see it happen so often. Like this happened. Oh, we check on your people. Oh, we need to stop the violence. Oh, we need to do this, and then what no change. A week or two later, we back on the same stuff again. So like, man.
Which you kind of get into halfway through verse 1 and into verse 2. You talk about problems that you see in your community and your frustrations, basically.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that? Is there any way that you think that we can fix it? Obviously, Black Lives Matter, and there's so many things going on that frustrate me,
Yeah.
And police brutality. Like, I can be here all day talking about this because it's just disgusting what happens.
And
what
so
I mean?
repetitive.
So I appreciated you at least vocalizing how you felt about these type of things,
Sure. I feel like we just gotta like really like be the change for real. Like if everybody play their role, there's gonna be real effective change. But if we still kind of like fighting fire with fire and stuff like that, and like even the people who's doing like the killings and stuff like that, like you got to think like, yo, how would you feel if somebody did that to your family member, your loved one? Like you got to take a step back and be like, damn, if I take this person away from their family, like how would I feel if somebody did that to one of mine? Like we got to really think just a second longer, just like seeing how that might affect families and everything like that, until we really hold ourselves accountable. Like, things ain't finna change too much for real. Like, just gonna keep going on and on. And the energy that we put out there, we gotta be conscious of that too. Like, we still talking about I'm gonna kill this person, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. What you think it's gonna keep happening? Like
energy is what we keep talking about. So, it's so important.
A lot of times, like. Unfortunately, a lot of situations that we might find ourselves in, like we be influencing it sometimes. Like I'm talking about, like not the whole thing, but sometimes, like sometimes, certain situation that we find ourselves in, like we really gotta take a look at ourselves. Like Yeah, but I feel like, yeah, we just gotta start with us for real. Like, I'm gonna
Like
treat you the way I want you to treat me or my loved ones, or like things like that.
Yeah.
That's
Start
it.
off with respect. That's the easiest thing we
but
can
of
do.
course, I'm not finna just take anything too.
Yeah.
So I'm not just gonna just let everything just
slide. Yeah.
slide. I'm gonna be selective on what I might respond to, but
Yeah.
for the most part, I'm gonna come at you with respect. You come at me another way, I might not take it to an extreme level. I'm just gonna move on and make adjustments.
Go listen to adjustments
Yeah, I'm
now.
gonna let go of my grudge, but I gotta make adjustments. I can't keep rocking with you the same way. I can't keep putting myself in that situation for you to treat me that way. So yeah, just like that's really what it is. I'm not gonna go to the extreme.
I like it though.
For sure.
So I'd like to pivot a little bit to talk about something that I mentioned earlier, that you're always performing, consistently performing. I love it because that's such a part of being a rapper. Like, you know what I mean? Performance and getting that down packed. And I appreciate it because you never seem nervous. You seem like you rehearse.
Yeah.
Your stage presence, you interact with the crowd a lot.
Nah.
So where did you learn all that stuff? Like, do you really practice that part of your craft? And are you going to continue performing?
Yeah, of course. I love performing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like this all started, like I said, everything count. It started back when I was a kid in the garage, just listening to like Ludacris. I remember buying Ludacris album, Chicken and Beer, just letting it play. And I'm in the garage performing the songs.
Yeah, like rapping along.
Yeah, like I'm
shit.
in front of thousands of people. I'm in the garage, just like moving around, performing the songs.
That's fire.
That's preparation. That's before I even thought about really becoming an artist
serious,
for real.
yeah.
I just was doing it because I used to love music so much. So
Dope.
yeah, we used to buy albums, go in the garage, and just be performing the song like we.
Mini Luda.
Luda. That's my first favorite rapper for real.
Yeah, yo. I actually have those notes written down. Like a couple people that I've heard you mention, at least Tupac, Ludacris, Wayne, Jay-Z, Scarface, DMX.
Oh yeah.
Nelly,
for
Ja
sure,
Rule.
for sure. And that's just hip hop. Like I said, I'm an R&B guy. I'm an R&B guy for sure. But yeah, hip hop. Yeah, all them guys like.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like those, just watching them on TV and stuff like that, hearing the albums and watching, stuff like those impacted me. Like the real music, I feel like that's gonna stand the test of time. Like people talking about like real everyday stuff, not just the fluff.
Yeah.
Sure.
Back to your performing though. I saw that you performed at a church event. I thought that was really cool. I don't go to church anymore, but how did it feel like to do something like that? That's sort of different from like the regular hip hop show. So how did it feel to do the church event?
Nah, it was dope. It was a good experience for sure.
Yeah.
Like like it happened organically. And I took the opportunity. That was like one of my first performances since it was one of my first performances since probably the performance in my at school.
Okay.
Yeah. So it felt good to get out there.
Yeah, do something different, right?
Yeah, just get that experience too.
I liked it because it was different. Like I don't hear that too often that a church actually reaches out to an artist, so a rapper at that.
Nah,
so
for sure.
I thought that was really cool.
And yeah, just that experience, everything count. So I felt like it was a great opportunity. Yeah, for sure.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and not to cut you off. And Message to the Youth, that's the perfect song. I feel like.
Oh, so is that the one that you performed?
Yeah,
you see, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. That you have the material to even perform at a church event. Like throw me in there, I'll perform.
Sure.
I don't care. I got music for it.
That message gonna be timeless too, because who knows? I might be back at a pep rally performing Message to the Youth Part 5.
You never know. Yeah, they invite you or something.
Nah, for sure.
Definitely. Do seeing artists like Denzel Curry, the City Girls, Trina, which is legend here in Miami, like, do you like them getting shine? Does that give you hope that Miami artists will continue to get recognition and blow up?
Miami, I feel like I'm from
Miami, Broward. I'm kind of like
I'm more tapped in with like Broward artists for real.
Of course,
but those artists. I'm gonna be honest, I ain't really get into the, of course, Trina legend, you know what I'm saying? City Girls, I hear it when I'm out, and I see how people respond to it.
To me, it's just nice that people from down South Florida are on the map, and
you mentioned Denzel Curry. I love him. I haven't really got into the music, but I do be hearing the freestyle. He dope too. So.
I think honestly, based on our conversation and hearing your music and everything, you would really like his latest album, because he talks about going through the pandemic and therapy and so many real life things that I think it's a good listen for you, because before he was doing more of the screaming and more hype music, but this album was more of chill, R&B vibe. It was just, and he's talking about that real. So if you ever want to look into his music, I would highly suggest the last album. But I just really appreciate that Miami
Yeah.
get the look, you know, that
South Florida.
I feel like we're neglected sometimes, you know? So yeah, South Florida.
But yeah, I feel like Broward though. Broward, like, we got a lot of talent over there. Like,
absolutely.
Yeah. Like, I be listening to like a local artist music like a lot. Like, there's a lot of talent out there for real. Like, so don't be surprised in a year or two, whatever, you know, it's gonna be a time where it's gonna be, you know, more Broward artists on the map.
I hope so, and I hope to be interviewing them.
Nah, for sure. I think this is gonna be legendary. You gonna have this in the top.
Open the doors, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be one of them that you gonna pull out like, hey, I interviewed him, and you know, it's gonna be
keep it moving.
A moment in time for sure.
I want to talk about one last track really quick, Help But Wonder. I think that's probably my favorite song. If I had to pick one, like, it's probably that one. It was produced by JK Beats.
JK.
What drew me in the most was definitely the beat. It has like a funk to it. Like, a lot of your music has like that funk, like that raw. I don't know. It's just like an element that I really appreciated. I love the vibe so much.
Sure.
And on Help But Wonder, you do mention having a family, possibly becoming a dad one day, or are you gonna end up being single? Like, is having a family and being a dad like one of your life goals? Like, you want to do that one day?
I ain't gonna say it's a life goal, but I will.
Like, you don't mind if, you know,
of course,
becoming a dad and stuff.
Yeah,
it's not for everybody.
I feel like it's not a life goal. Like, it's not like something that's like constantly on my mind. But I would love it though, for sure. Cause cause at the end of the day, legacy.
Super important.
Yeah.
I talk about that.
Legacy. You want to make sure that
little Edmond.
For sure. And that's gonna help to like really create change. I feel like if I'm having that direct influence, because you know it's hard really to like really have that influence that I probably might want to on certain people, because I'm not around like that. But I feel like if it's mine, you know, I could really like, you know, of course I ain't feeling like just whatever I say go. You know, you gotta have your own mind too. But I feel like as far as like the guidance, it'll be like it'll be more
legit.
Yeah. You'll kind of see it for yourself. Like, Pops is moving this way. You know, and if you see outside, if anybody acting crazy, or you like, man, Pops ain't on that, so that ain't what I want. You already know what it is. In
that track, you say, "I'm a prodigy about to wreak havoc on this whole industry." Like, that right there, I just come on. I love Mobb Deep. Rest in peace, Prodigy. Like, I love that. You know, very simple, but it was just nice to hear you recognizing some classic hip hop. You know,
that whole verse is like filled with some of them things. Like, if you listen to that verse, I got so many metaphors in there. Like, it's just like, there's so much in there. I'm like, started Edmond way, because niggas more pretentious than you think. Full of empty promises, reminding me of Wink. You know who Wink is?
I think so. That's from is it The Wire? No. Who is it?
From 8 Mile.
8 Mile. Oh my God.
Remember?
Yes, I was close.
Wink. He used to always tell Rabbit he gonna do this and the third.
Oh my goodness.
You gonna be the biggest out of here. Wink was just he used to just tell him anything. Like, he used to act like he was plugged in for real.
Yeah.
He was full of it.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of people remind me of Wink. They just tell you they could do this, they could do that. So like, I started Edmond way.
I love it.
Yeah,
I'm going to get to that in a second.
For sure.
The Chili and Keke Palmer line made me laugh. I liked it.
Oh, yeah. You got it. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I was listening to that the other day. That's one of them ones. It's a cold word. I'm chilly thinking Keke Palmer.
Listen, the song, I'm telling you, it's so good. And I love when you say, to some pessimists feel like y'all be full of shit. Like, I felt that one in my soul.
Oh, yeah. Cause like,
it's true.
Yeah. Because a lot of times, like I told you, I'm like, the way you was communicating with me, I'm like, man, that's too good to be true, man. She might stand me up. I might be at this interview by myself. Nah, for sure. Because a lot of people, they full of it for real.
Yeah. You know? And here, when you say you're full of shit, that's actually one of the very few times we hear you curse, because you don't do that often.
Yeah. I don't force it, but at the same token, I'm me. You know, I ain't finna act like I don't curse or whatever. It's not a mission in my mind. You just don't
force it, or like,
it's not like, okay, this song I can't curse. Okay, this song I gotta only do 2. You know, it's just gonna flow how I flow.
But I like it because you don't really say the N-word too much, and you don't curse too much, and I feel like that makes you stand out. Because, like, for example, you're at a family party or something, and you want to play your music. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't
you
really
probably gotta close your ears for 2 times throughout the song. You might say shit here or something like that.
And the other thing I thought that was interesting is that you don't really make sad music. Like,
you
know what I mean? Because you do talk about your life experiences and everything, but even in my research, you basically said that the way that you write songs is like, verse 1 could be vibing, how we live in, for example, but in verse 2, you might like talk about how you got to that point. Like,
you
know, it's a different approach. Like, it's not like, yo, I'm sad as hell. Like, I want this and this and this. No, it's like, yo, I've been through this. I'm gonna try to get you through it. Listening to my advice, what I've been through. You know, I like that approach that you had.
I feel like you can't sit in it, no matter what's going on. Like we're gonna express ourselves. Like if I have an issue, I might express it, but I can't just dwell on and just stay there. You know, so I'm gonna let you know, yo, I'm human too. Like I don't care how positive you think I am or how good it look, whatever you might assume. You know, at the end of the day, I go through things too. You know, so I'm gonna address that part. But at the same token, I'm doing something about it too. You know, like I'm making an effort,
making adjustments.
Yeah, got to. I'd be a fool if I didn't. You feel me? So so
love it, yo.
That's how I try to provide resolutions, solutions. If that's the right word. Yeah, solutions rather than just dwell on the problem. Like, this is going on. Damn, man, I ain't got the car. I ain't got this. I ain't got that. I ain't got that. After a while, I was like, okay, what we gonna do about it?
But now what? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do something about it.
And you once said that the genre you create is reality.
Yeah. No,
I like
for
that.
sure.
Nobody says that.
Yeah. I think I probably got it from probably like a Ice Cube or something. He's probably said that in an interview.
And that man is like legit.
Yeah, he probably like, yo, I think he considered reality rap or something like that. But that's dope to me. Like that's really what it is.
And as I've mentioned throughout the interview, that's what I get from you. Like you talk about what's happening in your life, and you're not fabricating stories. Like you know what I mean. Like you just talk about that real shit.
I'll probably say some names. So like, you think I'm lying for real, or I might like
put you on blast.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like, yo, this person was here. Like people who like know me, like my brothers or son. Like when they hear some songs, like man, you really took it there. Like because they know that they know the time period when I was like really going through things and just like really lost and stuff like that and trying to figure it out to myself. Like so these are this is my life story for real. It ain't in chronological order. Yeah, but it's there. It's up to
when you're ready to talk about it. Like
it's up to the listener to put it together.
Like with your cousin and everything. Like whenever you're ready to write something about it, it goes out there.
Timeless music gonna be here forever. So I'm just giving it to you. It's up to you to figure out if it's happening now or if it happened 2 months ago or last year, or 5 years ago. But it's gonna be real though. Yeah, no, for sure.
Do you feel pressured like to make commercial type of songs?
Nah.
Like with the trap, that crap that's happening right now.
Because I feel like I gotta be able to live with myself and just be proud of it. Like I want to be able to stand by it and really, this is mine. Like I'm not. Yeah. I know if I'm forcing something or I feel I'm doing it this way, I'm not gonna really have that sense of pride. Like this is mine. I'm gonna feel like dang, this ain't really. I forced it. You know, so if it happens, it happens. You know, like I'm never gonna be the type to put myself in no box. You know, and if people try to do that, that's on them. But I'm gonna do me. Like whatever I feel. If I hear a beat
and you like it, you're going for it.
I feel like I could say something on it and put my spin on it, and it's what's going on right now. We're gonna do that. But I'm not gonna be like, yo, I need a beat that look like this, that sound like this. I need to
or a club song or something like that.
Yeah, I need to get this. I need to look this way. I'm not doing
Edmond
that.
way.
It gotta be the Edmond way. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way for real. Like the Edmond way.
It. And speaking of Edmond way, I love how thorough you are with your brand. For example, in my prep for this interview, I absolutely love, like this is one of my favorite things ever, is that you had all your lyrics on Genius. I use Genius. I have the app. I use it when I'm doing my lyric breakdowns. Genius is my friend. So I was like, Mark, somebody who's so local has his music on. So I thought that was amazing because for people like me, it's important because I'm able to absorb what you're really trying to say.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
So I love that.
That's important for me, for people to see, because I'm saying some things, and sometimes when you just listening to it, you might get lost in the beat. And I grew up on like AZ lyrics and stuff like that. So I used to look up lyrics.
God,
and stuff.
I used to love that one.
Yeah, I used to look up lyrics too. So it's like now I'm in a position where I could put my lyrics out there. So let's put it out there for whoever was interested in it.
So speaking of Edmond Way, you are rocking your Edmond Way brand. I saw that on September 1st of last year, you actually legally own it now with your attorney. You did all the paperwork and everything.
No, that was actually my name, Mark Edmond.
Oh, okay, my bad for the confusion, but that's really dope though. That it doesn't matter that you even took the extra step and made it official. You know what I mean? I really like that. And
for sure. Because honestly, I had like. I'm thinking, Mark. Everybody call me Mark, and Edmond's that's my real name. That's my real name. So But somebody else's name was Mark Edmond too, so I had to make sure
I saw that on the streaming platforms. I saw some people.
I'm not going to say.
No worries, yo.
But so I had to make sure I secured the name.
Love it.
Like that's my name.
Yeah.
But at the same token, it's business. So
actually, I have a question that because earlier in the interview, you mentioned they used to go by Cash Flow.
Yeah,
like your other rap
sure.
name. So what made you change it from Cash Flow to your actual name?
Cash Flow, I feel like that's like,
like teenager stuff. Like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Cash Flow is a lot to live to. You gotta always have money. I was broke when I was calling myself Cash Flow, But it sounded cool and But yeah, I had a conversation. One of my teachers at the time, Mr. Young, I remember just having a conversation with him. I believe he said something to the turn like basically cash flow, just like, so it just sound. It don't sound for it. Like you can't take cash flow serious in a sense. I felt like my name. If I put it together, it sound pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like it sound.
I like it.
And at the time, I felt like I was the only one with it.
That actually happened to me because I used to go by Mel.
Yeah.
That used to be my AIM screen name back in the day. So I used to go by Mel, and I got so tired of it. I'm like, why do I still have it? So I changed it to be Mel G, which is my real name, Melissa. So I feel like it's more you.
Yeah. So I ended up, let's go for it. And then I just started calling myself Mark Edmond, and it's just like
Edmond is your middle name, right?
Yeah. So basically I just ran with it, and that's before I really started taking things serious. But it was good that I felt like it was it's personal,
Yeah.
People
get you.
Yeah, I outgrew the cash flow. Just too much pressure. I couldn't live up to it at the time.
I love the honesty. That's amazing. Yeah. But I do love your merch. You're always repping. On IG, you got the sticker and everything.
For sure.
I'm
trying
matters.
to really
it matters.
Solidify. Take it to the next level.
I love it.
Edmond way.
So I want to talk about you reading books because Winston's journal. I learned that you're actually quoting Winston Churchill when you say success isn't final, failure isn't fatal. So
for sure.
What are some of your top favorite books that you've read? Are you do you still actively read? Because obviously life and writing and stuff. So how's the reading for you?
It was a point where I was reading a lot, just working on myself, doing the work, so to speak, just getting different perspectives and things of that nature. As of right now, it's time consuming, so I don't really have.
That's why I was like, life comes at you sometimes. So
so
I don't sit down and read.
I have more on my plate, so I don't really read as much as I would like to. But one of the books that changed my life for real was Do It Scared.
That's my next question, actually. Because
Do It Scared by Scott Allen. That book right there, I just remember reading it like, wow.
Because my biggest note when you brought up that book is that you had a fear of driving.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness, you don't hear that too often. So I was like, that book helped you conquer your fear, right?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely planted the seed. I feel like I had the fear, and also I was making excuses too.
Okay.
Because
that's honest.
I feel like the fear was there, and also the excuse because at the time, it's like, I can't afford a car, so I ain't in a rush.
Okay.
It's like, but I knew the fear was there too because that was there prior. But after a while, I was just like, okay, you got to conquer it, But just reading that book kind of just, man, it just planted a lot of seeds. It just made me just want to just go and do it.
Hearing your story, do you think I'm like throwing it out there?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe your cousin passing away the way that he did brought on that fear a little bit? Maybe?
That's what I'm saying. It probably was there early on, for real.
Because you were young when that happened.
Yeah,
so maybe it just later on in life.
Before I knew how to drive. I mean, before I was able, at the age to drive, it happened. So
I'm even scared of a car accident. Like getting in the car is horrifying. Every day driving in Miami, and I don't know if up north is bad, but driving in Miami is horrible. Like you're on the defense so much. So I feel like I almost have a fear.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a risk every time you get out there, but. You also have to put things in perspective. It's a necessity in a sense. In a sense, it is. It's not like if you don't have one, you still could. There ain't no excuse.
Yeah.
But it does make things convenient. It's a convenience.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
So it's important to kind of just conquer that fear and just reading that book.
I'm proud of you, yo.
Nah, for sure.
It probably took a lot to get out there.
When I did it, I'm like, man, why I waited so long? But more so, everything is just about just taking that first step for real,
And look how a book helped you, like, open your perspective.
Just not even just that, just on everything in general. Just not caring about what people think. Like just really like putting yourself out there. Like, yo, what's the worst that could happen? Oh, they gonna talk about you. Oh, they gonna do that. This ain't gonna work out. But it don't be the end of the world. So once I read that, like, man, I had gave it away to my guy got now. And then I ended up buying it again because I wanted to make sure.
It was that important to you, yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure I had that, like, just in case I fall back into those moments where I'm kind of,
trying to find your way again.
Fear is a part of life, man. We all got fear.
Straight up. So I want to talk about some exciting news because your new single is out, Change the World.
Yeah.
So
I'm
how
not
does
here
it
to change the
feel
world.
To be dropping a new track after your last one on April 14th?
It feels great because it's so much growth and, just like, I feel like I'm just getting better. I'm just
every day
raising. We just getting better and better. So Change the World. It's just really just another chapter.
And I feel like a lot of what we talked about here today, you actually mentioned in the song, which I think is dope. I love the chorus too. It's just genuine and humble, and it just shows that you care. Another thing that I mentioned earlier, like you're a person that cares, and I can tell.
For sure.
Does that mean that we're getting a new album? Since you're dropping a new single?
We got a project. I'm putting it together right now as we speak. So that's gonna be the first single off the new project.
Awesome.
But yeah, like Change the World, just organic. Shout out to my guy Richie Flex. Richie Flex, he a producer out of Tennessee, I want to say. Yeah, Tennessee. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Richie. That he reached out to me on my birthday actually, and he showed love on my birthday.
Man.
And then what I like to do, cause there's so many like scams and weirdos out there. I'd be like, yo, let's get on the phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
good for you.
Yeah, so me and Richie Flex, we was on the phone, we was talking, and I heard some of his production. It sounded really good. But we ain't get a chance to really collab yet. Okay. But I was like, I like his vibe. Like, we started talking about things outside of music, just life
like
stuff,
live sports. Or
yeah,
whatever.
so it was like it was organic. So I was like, man, I can't wait to put something together with Richie Flex, cause.
And we hear it's so exciting.
Because it's kind of like bigger than the music, because like he's a solid dude so far from the conversations and things like that. So the fact that we finally got one,
feels great.
It feels good, and the song is jamming. It's just like, man.
Shout out to him, yo.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get a music video for this one?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't really think that far yet.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
But I see that you do shoot music video. I think that's dope too, that you try to make sure to get those visuals out.
For sure. I want to make sure it's right, if anything. Yeah.
Which brings me to my next point, actually. In the process of you releasing this track, since we talked and, in the process of planning this interview, you were like, I need to get it mixed right. Like, I want it to be perfect. Like, what do you search for? Or like, what's a good indicator? What's your standard of like when it's perfect? Like, what are you striving for? What are you looking for when those mixes don't sound good? What's your goal?
I could be a pain sometimes, for sure. And I apologize to anybody I work with.
That's good.
Yeah, I feel like
you gotta be happy with your product too.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like
this is
it's a presentation, and and at the end of the day, once it's out there, it's out there. So for me to put it out there, I gotta feel.
You're not gonna do the Kanye, and you're gonna switch everything up and.
Say it again.
Like Kanye puts out his projects and he switches everything up.
Nah. I like to just rather before I get to that point, I'm just gonna make sure I get it right.
Yeah, good.
Maybe down the line, though, I might do that. Because I don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'll be thinking about like I'll put a song. I should have said that word, but I'm trying to get out.
It's different now. We're in a different era with the streaming and all that. Like you can call your homie to go to the studio. Like tonight, like I'm gonna change. Like before, it was like a whole process. Like I gotta call this. I gotta submit. It's like so much faster now. So you can do those. I'm making jokes and stuff, but
that's true.
It's true. Like I'm trying
to get out of that. That on the song I'm saying
like doubting
yourself and
stuff.
I was such a perfectionist, still is.
Yep.
So that I like to call myself a recovering perfectionist. I'm trying to get out of that.
That is amazing.
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of that because it's helped me back in the past. So it's like I just got to be able to.
Even with my shows too, like I feel like I'm like, let me watch it again. Let me watch it again before putting it
and
out.
then
I'm like, yo, just
know,
put it out.
Just make sure
up to
you
par.
can live with it.
Yeah.
You know, I can live with it.
No subpar, like you said, and change the word.
Yeah, fuck subpar. But yeah, it's just more so just being able to live with it, and you know, because this is part of your legacy. Like this is everything counts. So 5 years from now, I want to be able to be like, yo, I got a song called "Change the World," and it's gonna hit the same. Like the lyrics is hitting. So yeah, really, it's a feeling. It's a feeling that you get. You know, you do have the vision, and only you have the vision. You know, you could tell somebody, but you know what that look like in your head. So
at the end of the day, you just want to be happy with it.
Yeah. So sometimes, you know, I might have dates in my mind like, yo, I want to put it out here, but if it ain't right, it ain't right. You know, so that's why I kept telling you adjustments for the show. That's why I kind of kept telling you, okay, we're gonna put it out here. I'm gonna let you know when the release date is, because until I get that product to, you know, where I like it.
Good for
shout out to Ant. He mixed and mastered it. And I recorded it with Slim the Genius. You know, it's like a whole product. Like there's a lot of people involved in this. Yeah,
teamwork.
Nah, for sure.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, definitely.
Now that you're working on your new project, how does it feel? Like you got your first one out there.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, my first project. Okay, so how does it feel now to be putting out another one, getting past that nervousness of putting out the first one?
You know, there's some expectation. I feel like, you know, there's more people paying attention.
That's true.
You know, you paying attention now.
Yeah.
You wasn't.
Yeah,
you
it's true.
You didn't know Mark Edmond in 2020. You know what I'm saying? So.
True.
You a new supporter, you know, like, so there's more people paying attention. Not saying there's a million, hopefully.
No, but we put out this interview and more people
it's constantly, constantly growing. That's the goal. So, you know, there's a sense of expectation for myself too.
Yeah.
There's a standard that
you want to live up to.
Yeah, there's a standard that I feel like Mark Edmond's music's supposed to sound like and be like, just the content and things like that. Of course, we ain't putting too much pressure on ourselves, like to the point where we overthinking it to a whole nother degree.
You learned from that already.
But we definitely making sure everything it represents the Edmond Way brand the way it's supposed to.
I love that.
Nah, for sure.
Do you believe in things like the sophomore slump? You know what that is?
Yeah.
Do you believe in that?
Nah, I do believe in it, because I feel like people put pressure on themselves to duplicate something that you can't duplicate. That whatever space you was in when you did that project, whatever time, anything, like you can't. That's not gonna happen the next time around.
Yeah.
You know, you might do better. You might, you know what I'm saying? You could do better than the first time or whatever. But that moment in time, there's no way to replicate that, because
I agree.
whatever was going on then, it ain't identical to what's going on now. So every project is its own identity. So.
Well, we are excited.
Yeah, some people might like the Edmond EP better than if you didn't know. Yeah. So, and that's cool too. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
as an artist, you get feedback that way too. Like, how to
it's all good. Some people might be like, "Damn, I like the first album." You know, that's cool too. I appreciate it, but I know that I'm gonna put my best foot forward with each project.
Love it.
At the end of the day, I can live with it. I can live with any type of criticism or any type of praise, because it is what it is. 'Cause I know I put my best foot forward, and that's the goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you listening to these days? Actually, you know what? I got a chance to hear yesterday a bit of the album from Simba that you told me about.
Yeah.
I got a chance to listen to it. So what else do you like to listen to on your downtime?
I like Simba. You talking about new? You know,
new, old, whatever. I listen to old school all the time.
I revert back to the old school a lot. Too. You know, of course, you know, the R&B.
Yeah.
You know,
R&B.
Yeah, Aaliyah. You know, for sure. I put that thing on shuffle. I might hear some Aaliyah. As far as you know, Tupac, of course. You know, I'm tapped in with the new guys too. You know, I listen to there's this dude named Marcus Clay.
Okay.
He dope. You know, he
from Florida or no?
Nah, he from I want to say Houston. He from Houston.
Dope. Okay.
Yeah. Nah,
like
for
that.
sure. He's dope. I listen to a lot of local artists. I listen to a lot. I keep my ear to the music for sure. You know, Lil Baby just dropped the album. I kind of listening to it. Yeah, he's talking that talk.
I like
but
it.
Yeah, it's a lot of music. I think we had a conversation before. It's just so much music.
Oh my God, it's like overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah. But I try to just at least give my ear to it.
Like I finally got around to the Simba thing yesterday.
Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Like I was trying to prep for this interview, you know what I mean? So it's like I have to find those times that and what we talked about too, like what you mentioned, that that I'm like really sitting down and listening. Because sometimes I'm just like, it's just in the background playing, and I'm not paying attention to the artist, and I hate that. Like, that's
because
times have changed,
in
man.
the middle of you listening to the new one, a new album came out, and then the new song came out. So and that's another reason why I'm so appreciative of anybody who listen to me, because there's so much out there
every day, like millions of projects drop.
So I'm thinking like there's a million songs, and somebody's like, yo, let me listen to Mark Edmond. Like, that's just crazy.
It's fire,
to me.
Right?
Yeah, that's
like
crazy
a dream come
to
true,
me. Yeah,
yo.
and for you, it's like, yo, YouTube is like a billion videos. Let me watch a Mel G interview. Let me see, that's like
heartwarming.
You like, man, you took your time out your day to do that. Like, you could have been watching this person or listening to this, but you listening to me, so I'm grateful for that. Man, I want to make sure that this time well
worth
spent.
It. Yeah, it's worth the experience, right?
Yeah, nah, for sure. But there's a lot of talent out there. A lot of people doing their thing.
I love it. So we sort of tapped into this a little bit throughout the interview. Like, how did you teach yourself to have such a positive outlook on life? Because like I mentioned, I got that energy from you from communicating.
Thank you.
Like, and I think, like I said, like sometimes I was like, man, he has such a point. Like, he's right. Like, why am I thinking about it in this way? So like, how did you teach yourself to be this way?
It's really more so just learning from other people. It's just being observant, like just really like being self-aware, like seeing things for what they really are, in a sense, and seeing my role in certain things, and like really just putting like that perspective, putting things in perspective for real. Like, so it take time though.
Practice, right?
Yeah. Like, it's, like certain things I say, I don't really think it gonna be like that deep for real. But it's like, man. But at the same token, it's like I would like somebody to tell me certain things too.
And sometimes hearing it from somebody like out of your circle too, I feel like it hits you different. Like it affects you different.
For sure. And like on Change the World, what I'm saying is like be the change that you want to see for real. That's how I try to be. I always try to look at it that way. Like, I'm gonna tell this person something I would like to be told too. Like, I'm gonna try to be that person. But at the same token, back to the song, I'm like, I'm not perfect either. Don't put me on no pedestal where it's like you leave me no room for error. I might not always that. You know what I'm saying? So I really want people to really like pay attention to what I'm saying in that line. But my intentions are good. I still try to be guided by my moral compass, like make sure like that. But for the most part, I just try to like give people things that I would like people to give me and things like that, and what I just feel is right. Like, somebody is having doubts about something or something like that. I'm like, I know how I feel. I know what I would want to hear. So and just learning from your past experience.
You talked about a moral compass. Like, what about your faith and your purpose and things like that? Like, would you say that you follow a faith or religion? And like, what do you feel is your purpose?
My purpose, like in life.
Yeah, in general.
Really, I feel like just inspiring people and stuff, like just like being a light, like just helping, just to a degree.
I think you're doing that so far.
Yeah, I feel like I do it, and I just feel like it just, it's gonna be on a more broader scale. But I feel like just really like helping the next generation, and just being that figure.
Yeah,
like people could look at Mark Edmond and be like, you know what, I'm not gonna try to be like him, because you can't be like me.
Yeah, because even if you're not a rapper, like you can still get that advice that you give out and take it and apply it to yourself and your life. You know what I mean?
I try to I move just the way I move. It's
like Nipsey, like what we talked about, like that he presented himself in such a way, and like
who knows? You don't know him personally, but it's still just like just seeing it. Like after a while, you have to pay attention to pattern. So it's only so long you could keep putting on this mask and stuff like that. It's gonna be, certain, you're gonna see certain. Okay, this person really just front, and they ain't really who they are. So I just
pay attention to pattern. I like that.
I just try to. You can't try to be yourself. You just be yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm trying to be me. I'm trying to keep it real. I'm trying. How you trying to do that? That's supposed to be who. Like, it's supposed to be second nature. Like, I can't think about it. But at the same token, can't please everybody too. Somebody gonna be mad at me because I ain't do this or do that in the third. But for the most part, that's how it's the majority.
Yeah.
So I feel like my purpose is probably here to just like inspire and things like that. Yeah.
There was something you said in an interview that says, everything I say, I'm a stand on it. I thought about it. I reread it.
Oh yeah.
Because I still write.
Oh yeah.
This is what I wanted to say. I'm not a kid. Every line means something. I love that.
Oh yeah.
That you're like standing on your shit. Like. How important is that integrity and intention with everything you say? Like, how important is that to you?
It's important. It's important because that's what I meant. Like that's what I meant. So I thought about the potential feedback it might get, whatever the case may be. And of course it might rub somebody the wrong way. And you know,
but it's your truth too, right?
If it's rubbing somebody the wrong way to a point where they're uncomfortable, whatever, I'm gonna address that part. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give you my perspective and why I said what I said. Cause I thought about it, I looked at it, and you know, I heard it a million times before I put it out. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna explain this. I know how to explain it.
I think it's a dope quality as an artist that like I'm putting it out there because I mean it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, for sure. Like I'm not gonna say something and then just because it's getting bad feedback, I'm like, oh no, I didn't really mean that. This is just, you know, some people, it's entertainment. At the end of the day, music is entertainment.
That's true.
For some, you know, but I kind of look at it like this is just real life for me. Like it's in my personal journal, so I'm not really like apologizing for certain things. But you know, only thing I'm very conscious of like adding people, like naming people and putting people like, you know. So a lot of my music is like about me. Mm-hmm. And I do try to at the same. Some people I might mention certain situations and things like that, but I don't really try to like paint nobody in no picture. You know what I'm saying? Like by saying this, that, and the third.
Like make them look away type shit.
Yeah, but you know, if it's my truth, it might be some sprinkles in there. Yeah. You know, and it's up to the listener to decide if it's a real whatever they want to think. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I try to really be intentional, like on the things I say and the things I do. Yeah, no, for sure.
All right, Mark. Well, we're pretty much done here, so I'm really excited. Thank you for being here once again.
For sure.
It was a pleasure to have you as a guest.
Definitely.
I'm excited for your project that you're working on. The new single's out right now. Go check it out. Change the world. Mark Edmond.
All platforms.
You know, it's been a pleasure again having you here, and I'm really excited for your success and just keep going, man.
For sure.
You're doing the damn thing. So thank you guys for watching. It's been a pleasure hosting this interview with Mark Edmond. If you didn't know.
Mark Edmond, if you didn't know.
I've been your host, Mel G, and I'm out. Peace out. One love, everybody.
You know, of course, I couldn't leave here, you know, without bringing you some, too.
Oh, no.
You know, Edmond Way.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, of course, man. You know,
thank you, Mark.
Aww. We go right here, Edmond Way.
How exciting! Yeah. Yes, I love it. And black is my favorite. I love it.
For sure.
Oh my God, you're so sweet. Thank you. Let me see. Let me hold it up for the camera.
Yeah, go. Edmond Way.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mark. You're so sweet.
For sure.
Go check out his music.
Yeah.
Repping Edmond Way is the only way.
Yeah,
official. Sure. Thank you so much.
No problem. Sure.
To change the world, hope to pave the way for little boys and girls. Even if it's just a few, that's one less cruise.